Hey guys, and welcome back to Cooking with Carolyn. This is the second installment to the video holiday series, and it happens to be one of my favorite dips ever. Alright, it is the spinach and artichoke dip. Now if you're familiar with spinach and artichoke dip, you'll know that while it's one of the best dips you can eat, it tastes so good and it's ooey gooey, it's also one of the most dangerous dips you can eat at the same time. You know, it has all those ingredients in it that, you know, are really good. Mayonnaise, heavy cream, cream cheese. So what I wanted to do was take a dip that would be good, but switch it so we'd have less guilt while we're eating it. Because usually spinach dip is more like cheese dip with a little bit of spinach and artichoke thrown in. What I did was switch it. It's actually a spinach and artichoke dip where I put the cheese and some other ingredients in there to give us that same richness. Now I want you to keep your eyes open and look for that special ingredient that I'm going to use that you're totally not expecting, all right? So take a look. I know you're going to love this one. Alright, first things first. For the spinach, what we're going to do is drain all the water from the spinach. Now I've defrosted this spinach under refrigeration, so I took it out the night before. You can defrost your spinach in the microwave. However, when you pull it up in the cheesecloth like this, like I'm doing right now, you will need to be aware of hot spots. So you don't want to burn yourself when you're squeezing that hot liquid from the cheesecloth. Just as an FYI, your cheesecloth can be purchased at your nearest kitchen supply store, or you can check out your nearest home improvement store like Home Depot. Head over to the painting section and get your cheesecloth. Just make sure it says approved for culinary use. So now that my spinach is nice and dry, because you don't want any water in this dip, it's just going to water it down and you're not going to have that consistency that you're looking for. Now I'm going to turn my attention to the artichoke hearts. These are just frozen artichoke hearts, again, that I've thawed out under refrigeration, and I'm just giving them a nice chop. So I have my pan over medium heat. I'm going to give a few turns of the extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to let my garlic go in there, a couple of cloves. Just get them nice and toasty. It only takes less than a minute or so. Just infusing the olive oil. I'm going to saute that spinach. So after we've given our spinach a nice saute for a few minutes, then we're just going to go ahead and make room in that pan for our artichoke hearts and pour those in. I guess you could tell I love artichoke hearts. We have a few more in there than the recipe calls for, but it's okay, it won't kill it. Give it a hit of kosher salt and some fresh cracked black pepper. And then I'm going to be using an unexpected ingredient that you probably wouldn't think to put in spinach and artichoke dip. And that is some fresh ground nutmeg. Nutmeg adds a great flavor and undertone to dark leafy greens and cheese sauces. So you can see this was just a perfect addition to this dish. And I also hit it with some Grand Diamond seasoning, of course. If you want to learn more about Grand Diamond all-purpose seasonings and find other great recipes just like this one, go to gdseasoning.com. Now our vegetables are all sauteed up and seasoned nicely. We're just going to go ahead and put them to the side because now we have to get started on our cheese sauce. Now in the exact same skillet, we're going to take a little bit of olive oil and then also a tad bit of flour, and what we're going to do is make a light roux. Now of course you know roux are used to thicken things, so I'm just using a little bit of olive oil and flour, and you can see it's not too much, but I'm going to be using it to slightly thicken our cheese sauce. Just keep stirring until the flour is well incorporated and you have a pale colored roux. Pour in your low sodium chicken stock and keep on stirring. Now because I left out a lot of the usual suspects that are found in spinach dip, I still wanted to come up with a way of having that consistency, that texture, and that richness that we're all used to in spinach dip. And this is how I decided to do it. You guys know what I'm talking about, the cream cheese, the mayonnaise, and the heavy cream. I wanted to push those aside just to see if I could actually accomplish this. Now you can see our roux and our chicken stock has melded together really well. I'm just going to let it come up to a slight simmer just before I add the cheese. And that's a mixture of Gruyere cheese and pepper jack cheese. And just as a side note, if you're wondering why I use chicken stock as opposed to milk as a base to this sauce, I used it because I was using so few ingredients. I wanted to use the ones that had the most flavor. I'm just going to give the sauce a final seasoning and then hit it with one of my favorite ingredients that I love to use, and that is low-fat Greek yogurt. Yes, that is the ingredient that is going to give us that richness that we crave so much in spinach and artichoke dip. Hopefully, this will help us feel less guilty about eating a little bit more. Now all that's left to do is add the spinach and the artichokes to the pan, give it a nice stir, plate it up, and serve it up. Now if you wanted to do a few huge batches of this spinach and artichoke dip, what you could also do is go ahead and do so, and then to maintain the warmth of it, just put it in a small crock pot on the serving table where everybody can just kind of revisit the dip over and over. Guys, I have to say this has become one of my favorite recipes to make at home really quick. I mean, when it's so easy to make like this at home, why buy it out anymore? This recipe is sure to take you well past the holidays. The bowl games are coming up. The Super Bowl will be here before we know it. This is definitely a recipe you want to have to whip up really quick for your friends and family. Alright guys, we got another recipe down that I know you'll be able to do. For this recipe and a whole lot more, go to gdseasoning.com. And don't forget to share, rate, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.